It says that we're live.
It says we're live. Did you go on YouTube and see?
Yeah, let me go on YouTube and see. I'm gonna ask my boyfriend if he see it. Did it say I was live on YouTube? Oh my God. He's my tester for everything. Poor thing.
I feel you. Look. Use your resources.
Right. I'm picking out. Let me call my friend. If this is this is amazing. If this is so easy.
They're probably looking at us on freaking YouTube like, what the heck? Hi. Listen, this is our first time, so
right. So bear with us. Technical difficulties. I do see my face up at my YouTube thing. I guess people are coming in a little bit late. That's okay. Let me ask my other friend. So I asked 2 people. Because how do you see if you're, I don't know how to tell if I'm live.
What's your YouTube? I can find
my YouTube is Natasha Love.
Where's my YouTube at? No, I can't find my app. Great.
Or you can even go on my page and see. Like on my Instagram page and the link.
Yeah. Let me go click it.
No, oh, it says my boyfriend said no, not yet. It's weird.
It says live now.
It says you see my my YouTube. Oh, it says my boyfriend said no, not yet.
Yes, it is.
It's live.
Yeah.
It says live now. It says live.
We're live.
Okay, so we are live.
So
okay. Can you download when it's over? Can we download the video or something or no?
I don't know how that works.
We figure it out. We figure it out. We figure it out. Let me see. Oh, my friend said she see us in the co-host. Okay, we're good. All right. So hi, but I cannot see anyone. Like, I'm just gonna type in the chat, say hi, hello, everyone, and see if they can respond. Because I don't see anyone, but my friend said that she sees us and you.
Yay!
I'm not seeing. Hello, everyone. To type. This is a private chat.
No, that's a live comment. It went to YouTube.
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna move. But I wanted people to be able to comment, and yeah, I want people to be able to comment and ask questions, but I don't know how to operate that part yet because it says private.
It's 2, private chat and live comments. So you just wrote in the live comments. So it looks like it went to YouTube.
So where's the live comments?
1 person watching. Private chat and live comments. So you just wrote in the live comments.
Live comments. Live comments. Where are you? Show. So where's the live comment? Wow. I think this has to be on it.
This is so funny. I don't know. I can't see it on my phone.
Hello, everyone. We're testing the comments, so comment and see. Send us a comment. Because I want to test the comment section, everyone. So drop money. Drop a dollar sign. Okay, so it is working. Thank you, Gawain.
Yeah.
Right. We made it, sis. So thank everyone for joining us today. It's all about financial health. I mean, we have a lot of things in stores for everyone, and thank Miss Candace for coming through. Much love and
Yes.
light to you. So I guess before we start, Candace, you can introduce yourself. I think everyone knows this is my channel. I'm Natasha, and I'm a holistic mental health therapist, and I'm all about wellness. And a big part of our wellness in my world and in a lot of our world is your money health. Money is a big driver in how we feel about ourselves. Sometimes it's a big part of stress. If you don't have enough money to support yourself when it come on to your basic needs and to support yourself and your family, it definitely contributes to stress and so forth. I just want to talk a little bit about it before I introduce my special guest. How do I know that money was a big part of my health? Is because of my own experience. I mean, I think we grew up in a world, I can speak for myself and based on my own experience. We grew up in a world where we're talking about, oh, money's not everything. Money's just money. Money's the root of all evil and all that stuff. And I didn't realize that, oh my goodness, money is a part of my happiness until I would say 2 years ago. I was unemployed and I was always struggling to meet my basic needs. I mean, it got so bad with my stress level that my hair started coming out in the middle of my head. I mean, I was very stressed out. And when I couldn't meet my basic needs, I'm like, wow. So I was like, I need to get a control of this thing that was happening to my, not only to my mental health, but how do I find some security within my finance? And of course, I got my job. Yes, I got a job, and I was able to connect with Candace because I was able to connect with my money management specialist, Candace, and she taught me around. Not only do you help me to be proactive around how to manage my money, but also there's a mindset behind money and how, like, was I spending? Because a lot of times, sometimes we're spending out of emotional, from emotional place, and with me, I was spending from, I wouldn't say it from an emotional space. I would spend it from like, oh, I need this. I couldn't distinguish between my needs and my wants. And I would just spend it like, oh, I need this thing. But I was spending from my want opposed to the things that I need. And that really impacted my money. That impact the way that I move because I was just spending. Another thing I want to also bring up around money and when it come on to mental health is that sometimes it goes back to this mindset that money does not bring us happiness, but money help us to with so many things. It helps you with security that contributes to your happiness. It helps us with experiences. I mean, a lot of us, some of us never have left the country before, so it helps us with experiences to travel, to spend more time with your family. I mean, money help you for somebody like me that I can't wait to have a maid. No offense. When I get rich. No offense. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking my truth. You can pay for somebody to do those chores, and what does that do? That free up time to spend with your family, to spend on your hobbies, to spend time in your community, and it does help you to. It does help. Money does help you to put towards things that matters to you. So there's no wellness without talking about money and how to have some type of wellness around it. So that's why I invite my special guest, Miss Candace. Not only she's a money management specialist, but she's also the owner of the Queen Blueprint. So Candace, just tell the people who you are, what you do, and how you can support us around our money health.
Yes. All right. So, hi everyone. I'm Queen Candace. I am a self-taught money management specialist, And how I got there was actually because a few years ago, I actually found myself in about 50K debt. And that was like a combination between credit card debt, car debt, student loans. I think I even had a personal loan thrown in there too, as well. And I found that during my debt payoff journey, which I actually did get it all paid off in 2018. And I was able to do that by using resources, by researching, and honestly just figuring out what was making me spend the way that I was spending. Because I did have my bachelor's in psychology. So I said, wait, hold up. Why are you spending like this, Candace? There is absolutely no reason why you have debt because the cash flow is there. So I'm not understanding how we ended up here. So I had breath, take a second, and just dissect what was going on with me emotionally, dissect what was going on with me mental wise, because I did realize that maybe I do have, a mental health disorder. And I went and I got diagnosed. So I do have a anxiety disorder, and that came about from me just realizing what was going on with me financially, right? So sometimes we don't want to take things head on. And so we need something else to happen to us for us to realize what's really happening. So after I realized all of that, I realized that I did need a mindset shift, right? Because not only was my emotional health in jeopardy and my mental health in jeopardy, I also understood that my family was not very financially literate. So I was not given the tools that I needed to even understand money at all, right? To even understand that money is a tool. It is not the root of all evil, okay? Because the evil means that you actually have to have feelings and emotions and, morality. Money doesn't have that. It's just a tool, right? So you're the person using the tool. So after figuring all of that out, that I needed financial literacy, that I needed mental health, assessment and emotional assessment, fixing my mentality and that mindset shift, I finally did get myself out of the 50K debt. And then as I was, celebrating that on social media, because I had a lot of friends and family who followed my debt payoff journey on social media. So I ran on social media and I was like, oh my gosh, I did it, y'all. I did it. Everybody was like, oh, that's great. Pat on the back. You're great, sis. But listen here, I need you to help me out because I got the same problem. So I said, okay, that's fine. I will help you guys out. So that's how I established the Queen Blueprint. I'm the queen and I will give you the blueprint in order for you to get out of, your financial distress, whatever that may be, financial anxiety, financial distress, actually being in debt, things of that nature. And then also within that same calendar year, I did purchase my first home and I did all of those things at the age of 26 years old. So hopefully later on this year, I will progress with my psychological degree, my psychology degree.
Get it? Yeah.
And get my certification as a financial therapist.
Amazing, Candace. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I love your journey. And yes, she did help me because I'm diagnosed with PTSD, and I have a lot of anxiety around money. I have a lot of anxiety around, even she can tell you, even during her sessions, I was like, oh, Candace, I'll talk to you later. This is just too much for the homework. But I'm telling you, it was so empowering that I don't have to be controlled by around this mindset that I had around money. Money is, like you said, it's a tool. And it's something to help us to get to wherever we need to get to in life. So, Dr. thank you for sharing that. So, I just want to ask you some questions because you're the blueprint. So, when it comes on to money, and our mindset, what are some of the biggest struggle you have seen as a money management specialist, within the community, within your own experience, or with the clients that you work with? What are some of the biggest struggle you're seeing financially?
So financial avoidance is a really big one. That's actually
talk some more about that, sis. Yes.
You're so silly. So financial avoidance is actually what we call a money script, and that's like on underlying assumption or belief about money that are typically only partially true, right?
Mm.
So with money avoidance, that's like people who literally systematically avoid dealing with their money, and they reject personal responsibility for their financial health. They just abandon it completely. Like, look, I don't feel like dealing with this, so I'm just not. I'm just going to pretend this is not a problem and just push it back to the back of my mind. But
I can relate.
like
Over there.
right. And, so, and that is linked to your mental health as well. So some symptoms that you will actually feel is low self-esteem, low financial and personal satisfaction, headaches, anxiety, and also a big one, which I know, is some men listening, you will have decreased sexual drive because you
can you repeat that? What?
You have decreased, listen to me, decreased sexual drive because you no longer feel adequate. You don't feel like you are worthy of whoever is presented in front of you. You may be presented with your soulmate, and because you don't feel adequate enough and you don't feel like you measure up financially, you just abandon all hope and you ruin the whole situation. So
wow, thank you for sharing that. No, money does impact us. It's huge. So on top of that, so thank you for sharing that. When it comes on to, I would say, because there's different level, like when it comes on to money, when you say money management specialist, can you break that down? What exactly does a money management specialist do? Like, what is it exactly that you can help us with when it comes on to our financial health?
Okay. So because of my background in psychology, I can actually help you change your mindset. So right now we're living in times where us as a culture, us as a people, we're so used to being stuck in financial survival mode that we don't realize you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. You don't, being in a 9-to-5 career is not the only way to make money anymore. Okay. Not the only way to find happiness. Okay. So a great, way to get out of that is to break the cycle, break your mindset up, and actually have a mindset shift from generational poverty, which is that survival mode mentality, into generational wealth, which is growth. You are forever open. You are open to new suggestions. And you're open to a different type of lifestyle and what that may look like, because everyone does not, have to be an entrepreneur, but you got to have multiple streams of income. Okay.
Right.
That's it. We're learning this now within the coronavirus, because a lot of people are losing their jobs. Why? Because the economy cannot sustain, like not every business can sustain virtually, right? So if they let you go, or if you have a business that is brick and mortar, which means that it's a physical place, right? And you're no longer able to make that money, if you had multiple streams of income because your mindset was, I am open to all possibilities, then you would be just fine during this crisis.
Thank you for that. Thank you. So I love it. Like you said, like we need multiple streams of income, especially to build wealth. So can you break down, when it comes on to, I would say, what exactly do you help a person? Because I know what you help me to do, girl. That budget. So can you help break down, like, what exactly do you help for example, I'm a new client. I come into you. I'm like, what exactly can you help me to do concretely as a person that needs your services?
So the reason why I actually went into financial therapy is because it's a combination of financial planning, financial literacy, and financial therapy. So the financial therapy is the mindset shift that I just spoke about, but there's also that financial planning aspect, and that is realizing what budget type goes with what spender type, because there are actually 7 spender types. This is like your mentality on how you spend money, right? And then there are a certain set of budget types, and you have to match that with that, as and also with like that person's lifestyle. So I personalize each of my debt payoff plans, my cash flow plans, because I hate to call it a budget. My money flows. My money is a tidal wave. So I want to call it cash flow plan, because I want to make sure that that money is flowing in just as much as it's flowing out, if not more. Okay, listen.
Come on now.
So, concretely, that is what I do. And on top of that, I also provide financial literacy. So that's actually teaching you the tools, that's teaching you the financial lessons. Like, okay, it's great to say, all right, guys, it's tax season. Go on out there and pay your taxes, do your taxes. Okay, but how exactly do I do that? What forms do I need? Do I need all of these forms? How do I know that I actually can get a credit, or, those kinds of things? So I teach those financial lessons, as well as the financial planning, which are the financial tools, and the financial therapy aspect.
I love it. Therapy mixed with financial literacy. Yeah, I'm butchering that word, but you know what I mean. But I love it. And with the crisis, the pandemic that's happening right now, what are some tips that you have, or what are some things that you can support us with around our money? Because I'm pretty sure we're all stressed. Well, a lot of people are stressed right now when it comes on to the current pandemic. So any advice, what you see that's going on, and how to support us?
Absolutely. So the very first one, the top of the top, don't make any life-changing financial decisions right now, because you will alter your future. There are a lot of memes going around about like, oh, I was doing so great before Corona. Keep doing great. Don't make any financial decisions that will change your entire path. Okay. The next one is, if you have built that emergency fund, utilize it. A lot of people are scared to use their emergency fund. Listen, newsflash, we're in an emergency right now. I need you to dip into that fund, okay? Like, look, dip into your fund, okay? That's exactly what it is. But in that same aspect, make sure that you're using it wisely. Only purchase things that you actually need. Do not purchase in like crazy bulks of things that are going to expire, okay? This madness over like toilet paper and buying water. What is that? Like, guys,
Right.
First of all, you should be saving money and getting you a Brita, because you could just take it out the tap. Okay. Look. Right. Okay. Another tip I have is to take advantage of all the free cancellation fees. So a lot of these companies are letting you either cancel their services for free, or they're letting you move your actual payment date.
No, that's true, because I remember I called my even my student loans, and they were like, "Oh, we can put it on hold for you, girl. You don't have to pay it for 2 months." I was like, "Really?
We got you." But it's not just them. It's the cable
credit cards,
it's the TV companies, it's the the utilities as well. Like National Grid, Con Ed, call everyone. Your phone companies, call T-Mobile, call Sprint, call them. Okay, do not be afraid to.
But also, if may I gracefully interrupt you, but also one thing you should be mindful of, if you are getting a payment waive or whatever, if your account is on auto payment, make sure you ask them if they're going to take you off auto payment, or do you have to do it yourself? Because they'll take your money.
Don't wait for them to take it off. Take it off yourself.
Right. They take your money.
Right now.
Somebody said they're gonna waive your payment, take your money, and take it off auto payment.
Exactly, because they don't need your permission to take it out of auto pay.
Right.
So along those same lines, for those credit card companies and those loans, you can actually call and ask for lowered interest rate. You can ask for deferment, and you can ask to move the payment date.
Okay.
Right? So now that we are in this crisis, you don't know when the economy is going to start back up, right? So you don't want it to start back up and you start making your money again, and literally the next day you have to pay a bill.
Right.
So on top of deferring that payment, make sure that you move your payment date to somewhere that is comfortable for you to actually pay. Okay. Another one is make sure that you listen to the rules, right? So that's staying in the house and don't travel and things like that, because the economy is literally at a standstill. They stopped, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, they had stopped trading on the stock market because it was about to crash. Thankfully, it got a little bit of a, jump start, but still make sure that you're listening to the rules, because the economy is literally at a standstill. And you only make things worse by prolonging the process and not adhering to those rules, right? And the very last thing I will say is, although you should already be prepared for the worst, if you don't have your financial affairs in order, please make sure that you get them in order. Get that life insurance policy, get that will. Make sure that you have all of your passcodes, and if you have like safe boxes somewhere, make sure that you have that all written down in a place where your family knows, okay, so if this person passes away, I know where all of their important documents are and I can get to it. Don't tell everybody, okay?
Right.
One person who is going to, actually listen to your final wishes and get everything in order and take it seriously, you know what I mean? So definitely make sure that you get your affairs in order. Even young people, everyone needs to get their final affairs in order.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Candace. I just want to, I guess, go back a couple minutes ago. You said something that was so powerful that that came into mind that I wanted to ask you. You mentioned that you paid off $50,000 and bought your first home within the same calendar year.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you do that? What was your mindset? And like, tell us.
So I didn't pay off the entire $50,000. It was like the last $20,000, the bulk of it, the last end of it. But my mindset was like, look, I can't live like this anymore. I need to be free. Like, I was one of those people who would just hop on a plane back to back and not really care about my finances, because I was like, the experience is more important than the money. It's not. They're both very important, right? So you have to find balance between satisfying yourself in the now and also making sure that you're satisfied in the future, right? So I just kept thinking about that. I was like, look, once I'm done with this, I can fly wherever I want without having that financial anxiety. I can spend whatever I want without having that financial anxiety within my means, right? So that was my mindset. And then I actually created a debt payoff plan for myself.
What's that?
That's sitting down and actually taking inventory of where your cash is flowing in and where it's flowing out, right?
Okay.
So that's all your expenses, all your bills and stuff like that. And also your habit spending. Like, a lot of the times we make budgets and we don't really think about, oh, but I do spend about $5 a day on getting me coffee. I do spend $10 a day getting me breakfast because I don't have enough time to cook it in the morning. Those things matter. So doing the whole debt payoff plan and taking inventory of all of my finances, all of my expenses, where my money's coming in from, because I am an entrepreneur, but I do also have a 9-to-5 job. So making sure that my money was covering everything that I was spending on, including clearing off that debt. That's pretty much it. I didn't have a life for like a year.
Sacrifices.
Absolutely. I did not have a life. I was like, look, I'm going to find this money wherever I can find it. If my job wasn't offering me overtime, I was like, I gotta get this money. So I was doing Uber, I was doing Postmates, I was doing DoorDash. Like, listen, I don't care. No job is like, my pride is not worth more than my financial freedom.
Ooh.
Okay. So I really humbled myself and was like, if I gotta do this, then I just gotta do this. I gotta sit here and suffer for a little while in order for me to get myself back onto the right track. And I did. So
thank you for sharing that. Thank you. There's power in sacrificing. Another thing I wanted to say, like, why get a money management specialist? Why can't we just do this thing on our own like you did?
So you can absolutely do it on your own, but the benefit of having a money management specialist is having that moral support, having that emotional support, and an expert who can actually assist you in the goals that you want to accomplish. Like, if I've actually already been through it, then I can see that light at the end of the tunnel where you may give up halfway through the process without me. So that is essentially what I'm here for. Not only the moral and emotional capacity, but also just to help you elevate. You know what I'm saying? That moving from a legacy of generational poverty and into that legacy of generational wealth.
Thank you. Definitely. Like she said, that level of accountability and support is so much need and make a big difference in the way that you see money and you spend money. I want to touch on the mental health part and how how does the mental impact your money habits? I remember one time you were telling us, but you can talk about it. But how did that impact how did your mental health impact how you were spending money?
So I was what you would call a shopaholic, a emotional spender. I have a anxiety disorder. So one of the things that I thought was helping me, which was spending money, like going online and, just sitting there and shopping online, which was giving me that like instant gratification. But afterwards, I still had the problem. Like, it didn't get rid of anything. It just made me feel good for 2 seconds. So, it every time I was like sad, I would spend. Every time I was extremely happy, I would spend. Every time somebody was like, yo, this, that, and the third happened to me. Oh, that's great. Let's go celebrate. And I would be like, all right, so I got to buy like 5 outfits. My thing was clothes. So I would just spend like $2,000 in one sitting, literally just sitting down, just buying clothes. One time I spent like $2,000. It was crazy.
What?
I would go site to site. So I'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't find really what I wanted on there, but I already spent $800. So then I would go to the next site and be like, all right, I'm gonna spend like $400 here. And it wasn't like I was like, okay, yeah, this is how much I'm gonna spend. It was just like I would just go on the site and be like, oh, I like that. Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna look great. All right. And I'll be like, I need the accessories to match, and I need the shoes, and I need to have the whole outfit done. By the time I was done, child, and I looked at that card and I looked at my statement, $2,000 that one day.
Wow.
So it was crazy.
And the underlying issue was what would you say that was? Depression? Was that anxiety? What was coming up?
So I have what is called, I think it's called repetitive depressive disorder. It's a new terminology for it, but it's recurrent depressive disorder, something like that. But it's basically,
is it the one that's seasonal, that only happened during certain seasons?
So that's seasonal affective disorder. I also have that, both. So I have the anxiety and I have the depression. So every time I was in a depressive episode, that's when I would spend a lot. After I spent all of that, then the anxiety kicked in because I was like, holy crap, I cannot afford all of this. What I'm gonna do?
Right.
I was actually, while I was trying to get rid of the depressive episode, I was actually creating a cycle of anxiety and depression in and of itself, because I was getting anxious afterwards. Like, okay, now I did this thing. And when the next pay period came around, I was like, crap, I can't actually afford all this stuff. And it's too late. It's past the 7-day or 30-day window. I can't return this stuff. Now, what am I going to do? Wow. And then I would spend again. It was madness, pure madness. Right. And insanity is doing the same thing over and over
and expecting a different result.
Expecting a different result. And I was just one of those people stuck for like 2 years straight, just demolishing my schedule, demolishing everything. And so I'm glad that I was finally able to break the cycle, but a lot of people don't even realize they're in a cycle. They just think it's normal because that's what their family has been doing for generations.
Right.
But that's exactly why they're in generational poverty. So,
right. And I'm glad that we have you to break that cycle for us.
Exactly.
Can you talk about how not only did you, once you realize that the underlying issue was not only your mindset, but the mental health, can you talk about how you support yourself with the mental health and then start getting proactive about your money? Or did you support your mental health first, or did you start with your money mindset? Like, how did that come into play?
I definitely had to go and get a professional opinion, because even though I do have my bachelor's in psychology, I am not licensed. So I was like, I don't know. I think I got something. I don't know. It's kind of like when you have a cold and you like, I feel a little sick, but maybe not. Let me go to the doctor and see if I'm really sick. So that's what I had to do. I definitely had to go to a mental health professional first, get diagnosed. And then I started to do the mindset shift. And I was able to do that because of my psychology background. So I was then able to notice my triggers. I was able to see when I was making those really bad financial decisions and stopping that pattern. Like, okay, you're sad right now. Why are you sad? It's okay to emotions. I also found people to, help me along the process. So I call them my anchors. And those are the people that I call when I'm having a spin out. So a spin out is when you're going very, very deep into a depressive episode and you can't get your out. You're so far down that you can't see the light and you're like extremely upset and distraught. So whenever I got like that, my alternative to feeling that way was to spend. So instead of doing that, I would call my anchor. And then I'll be like, listen, I need to talk to you right now. And they would always be like, okay, I'm open to listen. Do you need me to come over? Do you need me to give you a hug? Do you need me to hold your hand so you do not spend any money? Getting that.
Support is so important. It's a process.
Exactly. And that's like what I offer my clients, because I want to be the anchor for them. I want to make sure that they know that they are fully supported in their endeavor to become financially free. It's a beautiful thing to be financially free.
Thank you for that, Candace. And I want to say that not only did you support me with my financial needs, but you also not only the concrete stuff like the cash flow, because we don't call it budget, cash flow. But you also supported me with my other goals, like, because I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm telling you, this girl, she was helping. Like, I know this is not what I do, but you help me with my other. I'm not saying you're gonna do for everybody, but she really personalized her system towards you and all your money goals that you have going on, and that's what I appreciate with you. And she worked with you. If she see that, you know what, my goal is shifting, you make adjustment towards my goals. And that's what I loved about working with you, because you're really, one size does not fit fit everyone. Right. You really take the time to know that I have my anxiety moments, my avoidant moments, and you work with that. When I was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to go into no damn budget. I don't want to send you all the things that I spend for the last 7 days. And I still probably did not. But
tell you
and supportive. You really took your time to to understand it's a struggle. Like nobody in my family talk about money. The only time we talk about money was getting that paycheck. Was you got to go to the store to buy something? Here's $10, but no one breaks down, especially Black people, like money, like what it is. Even credit cards. I mean, you think you're just swiping, but the impact of that. So I'm glad to work with you, and I'm so appreciated of the knowledge and everything that you're trying to do in terms of bringing wealth into your community and that information about how important financial health matters, inner health. So it's a very beautiful interview. I just tell the people about the events you have coming up. In terms of this month, I know we got Rona going on, but all the events coming up, but also where can people find you and all that good stuff.
Okay, guys. So I'll talk really quick at my services. I did because I had so many of you entrepreneurs coming to me, I now have an entrepreneur service where I do build business budgets and help you with automation and all of those good programs that I know about. And you know, the Blue Debt Payoff Program. A event that I do have coming up is something for your pocket. So it is financial master classes with 4 specialists. So it'll be me teaching you the secret to debt payoff. I also have my new business partner who does the credit analysis for me now. So I no longer do the credit part, but he does, and he's absolutely amazing. His story is actually somewhat similar to mine. So he'll be assisting with teaching Credit 101 and leveraging your credit in order to, you know, do whatever it is that financial goal is.
Is that Hannibal?
Yes, Hannibal.
He's coming up next week. He's coming up next week. I love it. I love it.
And I also have a young lady who is actually the CEO of Financial Matters, and she'll be teaching about wealth building, right? Because we always say, generational wealth this, generational wealth that, but what does that actually mean, and what does that look like?
Right.
Like, you can shout words at me all you want. I don't know what that means though. So he's going to teach us what that means and what that should look like, right? Give us some framework for that. And then I also have a life insurance agent. So fun fact, I actually did try to get my life insurance license when I was doing the debt payoff, because I was like, oh, this is a cool way to do it too. I'll be able to pay it, whatever. Right. I didn't end up going to get my license, but I did learn that life insurance is definitely beyond the death, benefit, right? You can use it for college. You can use it for retirement. You can use it towards any financial goal you want. Like, you can literally take that money out tax-free and be okay. A lot of people don't know that's one of the places where you can hide your money from taxes.
Okay, Chris. I see.
So,
nice. So when is this event? Is this an event or this is a?
This is an event. So it's going to be 4 of us, and it'll be 4 hours. It's going to be available via Zoom. We were going to have 10 seats for office space at my office space in Brooklyn. But unfortunately, if Rona messes us up, we're not going to be able to do that part. But it's okay. There are 100 seats available for Zoom, and it's only $12. So $12, you get all 4 of these classes, and we will be teaching for 4 hours, right?
Nice.
And
that's on your page?
Absolutely. That's on my Instagram at The Queen Blueprint. That's on my Facebook, The Queen Blueprint LLC. And you can actually purchase those tickets via my website, www.thequeenblueprint.com.
Love it. Love it. I know Rona is as interesting, but I remember you saying also that you have, huh? I remember you saying.
No, I didn't say the date.
A TV thing coming up also. Remember you telling me that you have.
Yes, ma'am. also, I will be providing our people with a safe space to share their money story. You can either submit that to me anonymously via my website as well, www.thequeenblueprint.com/QBTV.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a space for us to talk about finances and how it affects our mental health. And, what are those financial lessons that I learned when I was younger that I now need to unlearn to learn the actual lessons I should have learned?
Right,
So,
right.
um, a safe space to communicate about financial wellness.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we do have a question from Inut. He said, my question is, how do we shift from a consumer mindset to an entrepreneur mindset as opposed to money?
As opposed to money.
Well, in terms of money, so in terms of money, how do you shift from a consumer mindset to entrepreneurship mindset? Because there's two different mindsets that is required to be in the different space. You know what I mean?
So the key element to breaking that mindset is actually to realizing the need for multiple streams of income,
Mm-hmm.
as well as breaking the stereotype of what a career looks like, right? Because what we've been taught is that, you do the 9 to 5, you go home and you spend money, and you go back and you spend 40, 50, 60 years of your life at this place, and all you get is like half the money that you've ever actually invested into this company, right? So breaking that mindset of thinking that that's the absolute only way that you can make money, because you can make money any kind of way. There are people out here selling toes and making money. Okay.
Right, selling masks. They're selling masks right now.
They're selling everything. Listen, people make money speaking, okay? Literally just motivational speaking. And that has been around forever, right?
Right.
But now it's gaining traction because of the platforms that we have, right? So now you can monetize it better. So it's just literally thinking, okay, I know I really wanted to be in this career, but maybe I can be in this career and also be an entrepreneur. So like me, when I was going to school, my main focus was, I'm going to be a child psychologist. I'm going to get my degrees. I'm going to get my PhD. I'm going to get a practice. And I'm going to just save all of the children.
Oh, save the babies.
I can relate. That is a serious deterrent. I was like, oh, no. I have to pay. So I actually had like scholarships and grants. So I didn't pay that much for my undergrad. And so I was just like, I got to pay what? Oh, no. This is not going to. And you're going to tell me how long does it take for me to actually start making money in that career?
Right.
In my late 40s? Oh, no. So I found the loophole. So last year, they came out with the certification for financial therapy. So finding those loopholes, how you transfer that mindset. Like I was just like, nah, I'm not going into debt. Like that's the biggest, student loan debt is the worst debt to ever be in. It never leaves you and you pass it down to your kids. I was like, I'm not doing that. There's no way.
Wow. I got to get out, girl.
It follows your people, everything. Okay. Like, so I definitely did not want to be in that situation. So I was like, how can I still do what I want to do, which is help my people, elevate my people in the psychology field without getting into that debt? And that's how I became a money management specialist. I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I'll do.
I love it. No, but that's powerful though, about that consumer mindset and realizing that there's so many ways to make money than the traditional 9 to 5, working for somebody for 20 years and hating that place. So right. I love it. Nobody got time for that. We're a new generation. We don't got time.
You do not need to be unhappy while you are making money. You only have one life to live. You need to go live in the happiest way that you know how. And maybe the happiest way that you know how doesn't actually mean that you're going to be making big, big bucks. But if you can cover your expenses and you can afford to do the things that you love and want to do, then do that. There is nothing wrong with doing that. What's wrong is staying somewhere you're unhappy.
Right. I guess one last question before we wrap up is, why does financial health matters? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why does it matter to you, and why should we care about it?
So the actual name of my TV show is Cream Academy. And why? Because it was named after the Wu-Tang song, Cash Rules Everything Around Me. And that's because finances literally connect to every single part of your life.
Come on now.
And you can throw out a topic and I can connect it back to finances. I tell you I can.
Right.
And right now, I might have to take a little minute, but I could connect it back to finances.
Right.
So if that is the case, and even like, let's say mental health, right? A lot of the reason why people don't go get help is because they think it's too expensive.
Right.
Expensive, meaning I cannot afford, I do not have the money to make sure that I am mentally sound. Whoa, that's not okay.
Not okay. No.
But you see how the cash enters into that other realm of who you are. That's emotional, that's mental, but it's still financial.
Right. No, that's absolute. Like, I've had clients that's like, oh, I can't even see a doctor because it costs. Even me, a couple months ago. Well, even last month, like, oh, I don't have insurance. I can't even go to the emergency room. So money does play a whole lot into every aspect of our life. And if we don't have our money right, everything's going to be like a lot of things going to be off balance. It's going to affect your relationships. I mean, like you mentioned just now, some guys get to be impotent. No, because but it's not because they're stressed out. They're stressed out.
Exactly.
And sometimes it does impact. Stress does impact our overall being, and just not only guys, but also women. We're all impacted by money. But before we go into this, any last words that you want to give the people?
I just want to let you guys know that I am here, okay? And representation matters. So that is why I'm actually putting myself on this platform. I am making sure that you guys hear and see me and know that I genuinely care for my people, and I genuinely want us to come out of that generational poverty mindset and move into the generational wealth mindset. Absolutely and completely. And one thing I'd love to leave you guys with is, if it costs your peace, it's too expensive.
Candace, before you go, where can people find you? What's your website? Where you are? Where can they find you?
So my Instagram, you can go follow me at The Queen Blueprint. You can go like my business page on Facebook, The Queen Blueprint LLC. If you type in at The Queen Blueprint, it will pop it up as well. And my website is www.thequeenblueprint.com.
Thank you so much, Candace. And much love and light to everyone that joined, and just much love. Thank you, and continue to do the work that you do. And this be many, many more events together, because again, wellness and money matters in our wellness. And I'm all about that. And so is Candace.
Absolutely.
Take care. Oh, hopefully I know how to end this.
Oh no.
I think it says end broadcast. Take care, everyone. I don't think there's any last questions. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. End broadcast. Hope it saves. It's wicked.